This is the new caribou, Sir David the Bard. Now, I'm holding this hat. Ooh, you BYU people just turn me off, but that's okay. I'm holding this hat not because I think I'm going to vomit. Romney has not won yet. I will be holding it then. Now, I'm going to get the 6 naked angel girls that appear to me quite often in my dreams to give me a revelation about the coming presidential election. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm going to come on here and kiss any Mormon's ass that comes to my office. If I'm right, all of you owe $5 to some Filipino family in the Philippines that has no food. Don't send it to me. I take no money. But you owe it to the world that you watched the new caribou, and he was a prophet. So now I'm going to do the Joseph Smith move. I'm going to stare into my hat, and then I will convey to you what the 6 angels said to me. Oh hell, I don't have a stone in it. It doesn't work without a stone. So anyway, I'm going to take a chance here because right now the polls in the United States are tied on Obama and Romney. Now, I'm going to make a presidential prediction here, and the atheist God willing, I will be right. Here's what I've learned, mostly at BYU, but in my master's program too, I was required to use statistical information to determine the reliability of results that I got in original research. What that all comes down to is this. You can make statistics look any way that you want. Here's what you have to look for in reliable statistics. Number 1, what we call the N, like in Nancy. The N is how many people did you interview. If you interviewed your mom and your dad and come to a conclusion, that's going in the trash can. That ain't enough N in a million years. 1,000 people, that's a better N. 10,000 is a good N. Now, the other thing that you have to be careful of is not only the amount of the N. When CNN says they talk to 1,000 prospective voters, that's not a lot of voters. Number 2, it has to be random. Now, random means opening a phone book, closing your eyes, and putting your finger down on somebody's name 1,000 times. Okay? Now, that's random in that phone book area, not in the United States, not in Wisconsin, not in Florida. If you took the poll in Utah, you're going to get a Utah slant on that poll. So you got to be careful how many people. You've got to be careful, is it random? And then you've got to be careful that it's gender balanced. Now, let's say that you go in as a Gallup poll member and you go into West Hollywood, which is, 80% gay people, okay? And you go to that phone book and you randomly select, but you've clustered the gender. So the gender has to be 50-50 for a good statistical poll or analysis. So be careful of the N, be careful of the randomness and the gender, and also the diversity of your poll. If you're doing a national poll, you better have every damn state in that poll. If you don't, if you're just calling people in Virginia or Ohio or Florida, that poll ain't worth toilet paper. It's not worth anything. And to predict on that poll, don't put your money on it. So there's many enclaves and clusters of people that if a poll hits accidentally or on purpose. Now, the Romney polls will certainly poll right out of Utah, and it'll show that he's winning hands down. He's winning. You go into Chicago and into the black communities, and that'll show Obama is way ahead. So my education has taught me, and I'm just putting it out there for anybody else that's interested, be careful of polls. And be careful of polls that, I saw a poll the other day that was before, 24 hours before the presidential debates, the third one. What good is that poll? Why didn't they wait 24 hours and do it 24 hours after the debate and see what the effect of the debate was? Well, because whoever took the poll certainly had their own agenda. So I think as hopefully intelligent voters in the United States, we look at the issues, we choose the man or the woman who we think represents our lifestyle and our family the best, and then we make a decision. Now here's my prediction. Where's my hat? Said Joseph Smith when he was in Carthage. Where the hell is my hat? As he's flying out the window. Anyway, I'm going to predict this. I'm going to predict that the old-fashioned polling by CNN and other Gallup polls and ABC are out of date. That's the new Caribou's prediction and my revelation. You young people, now most of you that look at me are somewhere between 35 and 45, and I've got, you know, 1 or 2 that are 17 and 0 that are 65. They all died, so I don't have them anymore. And I never keep them as subscribers. When they die, their children pull them off of my subscriber list. Anyway, you young people don't even have home phones. You're all on your iPods and iPads and all of your smartphones. I can't call you, and you know what? Neither can the pollsters, because your numbers are basically not listed. So if you're looking to have an objective, predictable poll, you have to get into the younger generation. 18, 19, 20, 24-year-old kids, they don't even know what a home telephone looks like. They don't even know. They're on the internet. I used to read newspapers when I could see. I don't read a newspaper now at all. I read 6 a day. 6 newspapers a day on the internet. On the internet. So, if the newspaper company calls me and said, well, do you read newspapers? Can we deliver one to you? I go, hell no, I can get it for free on the internet. They're outdated. They're outdated. I think Newsweek just went to online printing only. You can't get a Newsweek. When I was in college, I had Newsweek, Time, and magazines come to my dorm all the time. Some of them came in clear paste plastic bags, you know, but I don't count those. The world has changed, and pollsters have to change. If you go down to a mall where young families are, and you poll there in that mall, none of those families are going to have a home phone. And so the other thing I think you have to be very careful of on polling is that when people poll me, well, when I was in high school, I didn't like being polled. I still don't like being polled. They'll call me, and I just hang up on them. As soon as I hear there's not another person on that line, I hang up, because I know it's a computer message, or it's an automatic computer calling random numbers all over the world, and as soon as one of their, what do you call it? Can't think of the name, the telephone, where they all sit in a room smoking, and when the computer says, oh, he answered the phone, they'll pick it up and say, oh, by the way, this is Obama, or this is Mitt Romney. So the phone polls are shit, and the new Caribou is telling you that, and I'm going to try to back it up with a prediction that is going to be embarrassing. If I'm wrong, hell, I'll just come on the YouTube after I erase it and say, well, I wasn't sure. You know, I'll go to the Mormon, well, it could have been, well, if, you know, if you take the word if out of the Mormon language, they can't talk. They don't have any words to replace if. I think that the polling these days is extremely flawed. I think we're going to see it in this presidential election. I don't think Romney is neck and neck with anybody except Joseph Smith. He ran for president too. He didn't get too many votes, I don't think. here's my prediction. I think you have an entire class, and they're only about 7%. Gay people run right at about 7% in every world population. So there's 7% of the gay people. They're not calling North Hollywood. I'll tell you that in the poll. They're not calling that. I've been in Watts once. That was enough. You don't want to go to Watts if you have a white face. So I've been in Watts. Those poor people, they don't have phones either, folks. They don't have phones. They have a TV, most of them. They certainly don't have iPhones and smartphones. How are you polling those people? That's a huge population all over the United States. In every major city, there's enclaves of black voters that are not being counted in the polls. Now, there's another group, and that is the Hispanics. Okay, the Hispanics, if you speak Spanish, when Gallup calls you and you say, hola, the Gallup poll guy is going to hang the hell up. He can't speak Spanish. So that person got kicked out of the poll when they technically should have stayed in. So that's a huge vote pattern that is not being counted in the Gallup polls. I don't think the ends are large enough. I don't think that the genders are identified correctly. How many 25-year-old girls are in a Gallup poll for who's running for the president that you're going to vote for? The only gender are the old bags that are at home like me and have a landline like I do here in Australia. Don't look for my number, Danites. I have no number. I have a new name from the temple, but I can't give that to you. It's secret and it's sacred. So the old bags at home, they answer the phone. They got no one to talk to. If you're the postman, you run when you deliver the mail because that old bag's going to come out and tell you her life story. They're not in there. Now, what about the 18-year-olds? Let me tell you something. When I was 18, I was interested in one thing. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. Well, it's a body part, but it's on other human beings. So, what 18-year-old that's working, I mean, I washed cars, and God, I did odd jobs and had a paper route and stuff like that. Gallup never called me, and you know what? The Nelson ratings, and I don't know, most of you are so young, Nelson rates who's watching TV, where and how much, and then the advertisers can charge more money if a station is receiving more people. Well, the Nelson ratings are the same way. If you don't have a TV, how can they poll you? You know, how many times do you see a Gallup poll guy or ABC tap somebody on the shoulder that has an iPhone, no home phone, and they have no way to poll them and say, oh, by the way, you're 22, can I poll you? Oh, no, you don't want to be a pollster asking those questions. Jesus, what is wrong with my brain? You know what I mean. Well, and I know what I mean. You be good, I'll be bad. My bad. I never heard that. I never heard my bad until I saw an Allstate commercial where the young kid runs into the old guy and he jumps out and goes, my bad. And I said that to my kids and they said, Dad, you've been living under a rock. That's all over. Well, okay. So, my prediction is this. I think I'm going to back off, and I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's going to be a landslide. But I think it's going to be 3, 4, or 5 points in the percentage points that Romney is going with Joseph Smith, and that Obama is going to be the next president of the United States. Now, if the caribou is wrong, I tried to kill myself before. It's just never worked. Trying never hurts, does it? David O. McKay said, that which we persist in doing becomes easier. Not that the task itself has changed, but our ability to do it has increased. Well, maybe I'll hit a suicide one of these days. It works. I don't know. So anyway, here's my prediction. The 6 naked angel girls told me I was looking in the hat, and they said, in your dreams, David. And I said, yeah, you're right, in my dreams. And so the Joseph Smith hat has predicted that Obama is going to win, and that the polling techniques in this country don't apply anymore. You young people have turned the world into a very different place. We'll see. Thanks.